China is enormously accountable and owes Filipinos billions of pesos for its continuing abuses in the West Philippine Sea. More than half of our country's 110 million Filipinos live in coastal communities relying on marine resources for their daily needs. And as highlighted by former Supreme Court Justice Antonio Carpio and Senator Risa Ontiveros, our country's best and brightest scientists at the University of the Philippines Marine Science Institute conservatively estimated that our country is losing at least 33 billion pesos annually from our damaged reef ecosystems due to China's artificial island building and illegal fishing operations. This sums up to more than 231 billion since the start of 2014. China refuses to pay its debt to the Filipino people. How will we make China pay? It is time for Filipinos to unite and demand what is due from China. Philippine authorities have the right to seize assets and properties owned by the Chinese state here in the Philippines to satisfy China's debt to the Filipino people once China's full monetary damages are determined. Included in these possible assets are the Chinese government's interest in the national grid of the Philippines and China Telecom as the third telco in our country. China can be held accountable here in our country, and our Philippine government needs to stand up for our legitimate rights. It is also time for us to protect ourselves from China's continuing predatory and abusive practices. Despite China's clear disrespect of our country's internationally recognized rights over our marine resources, our territory, our fishermen, and our people, our Philippine government delays and welcomes China, while other countries such as Australia, Japan, India, the US, and the European Union have recently enacted measures to prevent China from taking over their strategic and vital industries like energy, technology, and media telecommunications. After the economic contraction brought by the COVID-19 pandemic, wealthier Chinese investors eye a bigger slice of the country by taking advantage of a price drop in real property and company valuations, driving Filipinos away from their own land and businesses. Our countries are now learning new measures to protect themselves. Since the 1980s, China has been seizing parts of the West Philippine Sea from Filipinos like Subi Reef, Mischief Reef, and Scarborough Shoal. These reefs and shoals are irreplaceable and have immense economic and strategic value to generations of Filipinos. The question we should ask, when are we and our Philippine government truly going to stand up for our legitimate and basic rights?
Of course, I was very disappointed with that dismissive, almost non-response of the Chinese embassy here in the Philippines. Though I wasn't completely surprised. So now it remains up to the Philippine government to assert that that is indeed a very reasonable and legitimate claim.